Hey guys, it is the 6th of December and I have officially finished Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. I finished this mammoth of a book in 6 days. I did originally want to complete it in 4 days because I worked out that to complete my Goodreads goal, I have to read 7 books by the end of the month. So that equals each book this month, I get to spend 4 days reading it. So yeah, didn't quite manage that with this one, but it is massive. So I'm hoping that the next book that I pull out is going to be shorter so I can get it done quicker than 4 days. Although that's very highly unlikely. I'm very busy over the next couple of days at work. I have got my Christmas decorations up. Well, at least the Christmas tree's up. You can't see it, but it's right next to me. I'll do a little cutaway so you can have a little look. I mean, it's a bit... The more ornaments we get every year, the more chaotic it becomes. So, but I think it looks all right. So yeah, happy that that's up. We put that up. We sorted that out last night, which is nice. But yes, before I pick my next book to read from my TBR jar, let me talk a little bit about this book. If you watched my last video where I picked this out of the pot, you would know that I wasn't happy about picking it. And that's mainly because I started to read it a long time ago and I was very much uninterested in it when I was reading it. And I think the point that I was uninterested at this book was the discussion of the agricultural revolution. There's just something about that that really bored me the first time that I listened to it, and then I just stopped listening to it. However, this time I, on the most part, thoroughly enjoyed it and found it really, really interesting the whole way through. If you don't know what this is, well, it's basically what it says on the tin. It's a brief history of mankind. And Harari starts right from the very beginning of Homo sapiens kind of emerging, and then teaches you all about kind of where historians think they went first, where they found the very first communities and all of that. He talks a lot about the other humans that were living on Earth at the time of Homo sapiens kind of taking over the world, basically. He talks about the theories of what they think happened to the other human species and why they think Homo sapiens are the only human species around now. And then from there, it basically just takes you right on through all the different kind of big events of humanity. So the agricultural revolution, and then like he discusses imperialism and the Industrial Revolution and capitalism and all this kind of stuff. And I found it really interesting. I did. I'm really glad that I got this out of the library because I think I would have struggled if I was just listening to it, which is maybe what the problem was the last time. This book includes a lot of like diagrams and photos and everything, which was really interesting. And also being able to like read the words that I didn't know. It's very different to just listening to a word you don't know because it's not easy to look it up. Whereas reading along with it, I Googled so many words I didn't understand when I was reading this book. And that really did help with like the enjoyment as well of actually understanding things that I would have otherwise been really confused about. I think for me, the most interesting part about this book was thinking about the society that I live in now, like in the Western world, in the capitalist world and everything, like just having it being put in the context of years and numbers and just... I mean, we know that this hasn't been around very long, but reading through the whole history of mankind as we understand it now is like, it just makes you think, oh, it's such a small amount of time that things have been like this. And I just found that absolutely fascinating, reading it like that. And also with regards to like how many humans there are on the Earth. Yeah, I just find it really interesting just to think about how you don't have to go back very far for there to only have been millions of humans on the Earth and not billions of humans on the Earth. And that's crazy. Historically, I haven't really been interested in learning about wars and different political events that have happened over the ages. I remember at history at school being incredibly bored. But now, reading this, I just found it really interesting just to be able to put things into context and learn about the big events which have led to our society now and where we are now. I found that really interesting. I did read some criticisms in the reviews the other day, actually. So it was before I'd finished reading the book, but I went on Goodreads and I was reading some negative reviews. And a lot of them were saying that they didn't like how opinionated this book is. From my perspective, I kind of thought, I don't know how you would write a book like this without including your own opinions about things, because obviously Harari had to choose what he wanted to include. He had to choose how he was going to tell you the information, and of course he has to tell you what he thinks it means for the world, or at least the different possibilities of what different things happening have meant for humans. And you know, this isn't a mathematical textbook, so I really don't know how you would write this book completely objectively, because there's so many different things that are speculations or that are, you know, guesses. So yeah, I didn't really mind that. I feel like I could get a sense that he did have an opinion, even though he did try and give like many different sides of an argument, or not an argument, but many different options of what things could mean and everything. He did try to do that, but I did feel like I did get a lot of opinions from him as well. I do agree with that, but it just didn't bother me, because I don't know how you would write this book without including that. I think my biggest criticism of it though was that I feel like, so this book was written in 2014, and I feel like if it was written today, he would perhaps talk about different groups of people in a slightly different way, because I didn't really like the way he talked about some of the groups of people in this book, and it kind of, there was a section in here where I was really put off what I was reading because of the way he had written it. Overall, I really liked it, and to be honest, the very last part of it I enjoyed the most, and that was all about talking about the future of humanity and talking about cyborgs and us kind of merging with computers and technology, and I love all that stuff. That's what I'm really interested in. And it's made me want to pick up the second book, which I know hasn't been rated very highly in comparison to this one especially. Like, lots of people rate this very highly, and the next one, which is about the future of humanity, hasn't been. But I'm intrigued to read it, and I do actually have it. It's here. I don't think it's in my TBR jar, but I have it right here. And I'm tempted to read it because, like I say, just in the very last part of Sapiens, he begins that conversation, and just like the moral dilemmas that come with genetic engineering and being able to produce superhumans and everything like that. And I assume that this will discuss a lot of what he was hinting at the end of the last book. So now I really want to read this one, and I'm glad that I own it. Anyway, I won't be able to pick this out of the TBR jar because I'm 99% sure that this isn't in there, but it could be. I could be wrong. I can't remember what's in there. I would say that that was a success, definitely, for my first pick. I ended up really enjoying it and finding it, for the most part, really interesting. Okay, so here is my TBR cup, my little Matilda cup, and I've got to pick the next book. I'm so excited. I was so tempted to pick the next book yesterday before I'd finished, and I was good, and I didn't do it. Okay, so let's have a look. Last time we got a yellow one, so maybe we go with a different colour. Okay, I've gone with green. I'm just going to go with the first one, because if I put this back, that could be bad. So yeah, okay. Let's put the cup down here and find out what this is. What I'm hoping for is some fiction, because I'd really love to read a fiction book after that big, hefty non-fiction book. Okay, maybe I'll show you guys first. Oh. What does that say? What does that say? Poverty Safari. I've read that. I've already read it. It's by Darren someone, and it's about poverty in the UK. And I've read it. It's done, so I don't have to do that. Oh, I did think to myself that because I don't know what I've read in here, because I made it a while ago, I think what I'm going to do is say, I'm going to set it as a high bar. But if over the course of this I pick out 5, not necessarily in a row, but just if I pick out 5 books that I've already read, then I'm going to let myself do a free choice book. I think that's fair. Do you think that's fair? I feel like that's fair, because then that's showing, you know, I've read so much. I read 5 of these. Let me know if you think that's not fair, but I think that's fair. Okay, let's go for another one. Let's be quicker this time. Blue. Right, let's go. So this is... What is this? What We Cannot Know. It's another audiobook, which is great news, but I literally don't know what this book is. It sounds like non-fiction though, which is upsetting, because I wanted a nice fiction book. Okay. What We Cannot Know by Marcus du Sautoy. Is that how you pronounce his name? Let's look it up on Goodreads, because I just don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. Oh gosh. That's the thing, when you like buy an audiobook or an ebook, sometimes it just can be forgotten for years. Okay, Britain's most famous mathematician takes us to the edge of knowledge to show us what we cannot know. Is the universe infinite? Do we know what happened before the Big Bang? Big Bang? Big Bang? Why can't I say that? Where is human consciousness located in the brain? And are there more undiscovered particles out there beyond the Higgs boson? This is a kind of book that I probably wouldn't buy now, but when I was studying science with the Open University, I just bought more and more popular science books because I just wanted to know everything about everything. And hopefully I can find it in the library so I can have the physical version as well, because that definitely helped me a lot with Sapiens. And then maybe next time I'll put a fiction book out. So it's got 4.02 stars on Goodreads, so that's good. And the cover on Goodreads is really cool. I'll put it up here so you can see it, the cover that I'm looking at. And when was it written? It was published in 2016, so it wasn't massively long ago either. So yeah, that's what I'll be reading next. Hopefully it won't take me 6 days, but I think it probably will because it's another 15-hour non-fiction book. It's gonna take me a while, I think, this one. But anyway, hopefully I will see you soon, and next time be able to pick out a fiction book, or at least 4 more of these ones that I've already read, and then I can do a free choice. Let's hope for that. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody is doing well, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!